Look, everything I do is never good enough after my lead poisoning. I've overcome lead poisoning 3 times. I healed myself. The government never put me together. Nobody put me back together but me. I didn't get compensation for the violence and the bullying on Facebook 2018 ruining my life. I didn't get compensation for this Bill network putting me in a toilet for political reasons and gating me out, which is apartheid. They're basically making an exclusive club every night. They've watched me for 3 years after violence and lead poisoning go all over the world cheating over love stars, over looks and appearance, and over my abilities at work. But it's not fair. I'm telling you, I've got a level 4 cookery. I've got a cookery certificate. We had to do this for some reason, me and Leanne. I don't remember why, but I did it, and it was pretty basic stuff. Like, it was like making croissants and slices and cakes, and it's a skill that I still use to this day. And it was a free course. It's a level 4. I did a certificate in retail, and that helped me with customer service and call center jobs. Yeah, that's my cookery level 4. And I was definitely still moving forward about what I wanted to do because I'd never stopped. I may have had a disability and I went through and healed something in my past. But my mum was a solo mum and I had to heal neglect. And it's not her fault, it's just how our life was. And there's a lot of things I had to go and heal that I got disadvantaged from. But now my ex's girlfriends are really disadvantaging me. And my only real strength was my body and health, which I worked very hard on. And my health's totally ruined. And my ability to do these courses and work. And even in Australia, I created a business with bohemian rings and knitted hats and all these graphic design products that my landlord's taken, but they're racistly keeping me segregated out of work. And it's like, where did these kids get all these ideas from, though? I'm just constantly abused and discriminated about my face, but I'm an extremely talented and capable person when it comes to work. Like, even my writings all got stolen by these white girls who are now using my customs and words, but they still put me down like I'm a piece of shit. And then in my time of need of my vagina ruined, being raped, disemboweled, having my face ruined, having members group bullying me, blaming me for everything, I'm being left alone and then punished and put in a prison for the rest of my life. This is what my room was like at my mum's house in Australia, and I kept making plants. That's all I did was propagate all these plants, because in Australia, on the side of the road, there's draconia plants growing. There's all these species of plants that when you buy them here, it's like about $50 in the store. So I started propagating all these cool plants for my home, and my mum went batty. She hated me growing all these plants, and in the end I had about 40 or 50 buckets of plants and nice pots, and my mum gave them away when I left the country. And, this is what I like, a peaceful, light room. And I only get messy for a couple of days when I'm creative, and I'm always just a self-sufficient person that works on my own stuff, and they just want everything from me. They want credit for everything, but I should still be given an amazing amount of credit for what I worked for. This is the kind of graphic design I can do, like corporate identities, business cards. We used to do these like annual quality management books or something for accounting, children's books. What else did we used to do? I made my own book about feng shui and made all the middle area, kind of the pages were done with transparent paper, and I'd made it very, very Asian themed book. Like, it was really beautiful. And then that was one of our themes. We had to use like Quark Express. I don't even know if they use that anymore, to do desktop publishing. And I've worked in desktop publishing at the Zoom Room. the press and web design, and I was really focused on my career and I did well. And then I moved into a more spiritual based outlook and decided I wanted to give service for other people and put time and energy into people's lives. I started volunteering, and then I just started working on areas where I felt like not strong, or I felt not like my family couldn't teach me everything. She was at work every day. And then I got into messy journalism, and they kept shutting down all of my phones. Like, I kept getting these death screens on my phone and on my computer. And I've got proof that Ralph saw me, like, going through the enrollment and, like, trying to get, like, a proper thing for a laptop so that I could move forward in life, and they were blocking me because I was bullied out in the public so bad it was making me recluse into my home. And I'm saying, why should I be trapped at all? Why should I be trapped by the police for 20 years when nobody gave me any rights for all the crime? They just stole my life, put me on a dog bus, said this is Queen, blocked every work opportunity just by crime. Look at this. It's not fair. So I went through, I'm really talented at work. This is baking that I can do. That's like a level 4. And I'm not only that, I created my own businesses, like doing home-based cooking for these different families that needed it for Crohn's disease and other diseases to do with like their digestion or their health, to do with like immunity issues. So I was like cooking sort of like a paleo kind of, but it was all modern cooking. She's a very modern lady. Like, I was cooking like vegetable stacks every day to put in her freezer, like stacks with like squash, pumpkin, sweet kumara, and then like mince and like a kind of like a bechamel sauce and like a pesto. Like some of it was a little bit like moussaka, and some of it was like a light pesto tomato based kind of vegetarian stack with this cheese over top. And I'd be freezing these all week so that the family had like a lot of food that they can call back on, instead of like, if you're busy and you've got all these health requirements, it takes up too much time. I mean, I think she worked in finance, and I think this other lady worked in accounting. And I also did a lot of stuff for other women. There was another woman I did kind of like a personal assistant job, but she was more like, it was half cleaning, half doing all of her errands with dry cleaning, organising her appointment books, getting organised her fridges and doing all of her groceries and preparing meals, just very light meals. Like, she used to like to have salmon, capers, dill, and mascarpone cheese with her pasta. And what else did she used to do? We used to prep her homes for sale. I think I've only done about a level 2 in this, and I wanted to go further because it's really good money and I wanted to pay off all my debts. That was my goal in Australia and New Zealand, because just before my face got whacked, I got into this job at Access Health. They ruined my life. I went to Australia to use me. They kept me in prison of all these like women that are butlers, and they're the cleaners, and they forced me into slavery, when it's like Lauren was a loser. They only like her because she's blonde and pretty. They didn't let me go to work. This is the racist thing about Graham and those girls, those blonde girls. They're racist. It's like some of them didn't even do amazing different jobs or fight for their life. They just were cleaners. And it's like, John decided to change my life and all these producers, but I've done the groundwork in aged care, so why should I have to fight for my rights in it? I did children's books and graphic design, tarot cards. I used to make a garden, a herb garden. This was my things that I used to do in Australia. and I was knitting these, and I got into refugee school to do sewing. They blocked that. They don't want me thriving. The reason I'm a potato is because she makes money out of me being a potato. They basically have psychologically tortured and bullied me to keep me a potato, but I'm really skilled and talented, so I think those blonde girls are jealous. They're beating me, thinking they're superior and entitled because they're good looking with all this plastic surgery, and kept themselves in an advantage and stopped me. And you can be ignorant, but I can't just, if I'm left homeless, I can't just sit and have private space to start to do design. If I'm sick with poisons, I'm sitting here asleep all day. So why should I be doing in a war crime where they're filming me, abusing me? There was no democracy. They just took photos of me ugly with silver poisoning and said I'm fucking ugly, and I want the proof about my photos because I never wanted it. They just dragged me around Jim Crow and Juliet and said that she's the love. And it's not fair because I already put time into my romantic side as well and I did a lot of art pieces on Instagram about it and photography. That got stolen off me. All parts of and I just got returned as flesh because I'm fat and aged from abuse and violence, from lead poisoning. I shouldn't look like this. I'm still a highly skilled person. Like health and well-being, I did like NDIS training and call center training. So why should I be locked up? I'm really, really skilled. And this is how they're blackmailing me, saying her pussy's really small and I'm got a real fucking big one. How are you meant to stand and go to work? They're illegally putting me into jail. These are the kind of artworks that I was doing back in my day. This is what he's doing to me. Big pussy. And he's cut it apart, and I should have the right. I'm being treated like a black woman, but I've got so much education and work, and they're really sought after skills. So why is this family abusing their power and not letting me be free to go to work and create my own life? All of my creations in Australia, they stole it off me. All the things that made me happy and passionate, and just said that I'm fucking not fun anymore, fuck off, and had all these clubs that I'm fucking too old for love, and these girls are all in love, and it's like, but I'm excluded. It's not fair. And it's like, if I go overseas, I'm paying debt for these families that have just used and abused me, these 5 women. I don't want to pay it anymore. It's like I have to be almost dying, kept in a prison. They're taking the credit for everything I worked for.